Hey guys, Dums from Dums DNA here. So like I promised you in my previous video is I was going to give you a full in-depth video about my starfish, my flowerhorn. He is a mighty 24 centimeters now. He's beautiful, I love him to bits, got an attitude of note, but he is a wet pet. You're not going to see much in this video, so I'm sure most of you will be thankful for that. But it will be all about my flowerhorn. He is a red dragon golden based. Other than that, I'm going to show you up front now. You're not going to see me for the rest of the video, so just a quick one. Please give me a thumbs up at the end of the video if you enjoyed it, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and if you have, stay tuned for more. So as I said, the star of the show today, my beautiful red dragon golden based flowerhorn. He's a bit cross with me because I don't know, he's just moody. It's generally what flowerhorns are, he's moody. Basically, I'm going to give you a little bit of a discussion about my understanding of grading a flowerhorn, what to look out for, what to not look, what should be there, what shouldn't be there. This is obviously for those guys buying juvenile flowerhorns. Adult flowerhorns like this, I mean, it's straightforward. You can see that that's a top grade flowerhorn right there. We'll go a little bit more in depth on that, as well as feeding, water conditions, what I feed, and my own opinion on live feeding. So to start on when and how to grade and choose, well, it's not you to grade, but you to get a fairly good understanding on what type of flowerhorn you're buying. So you get generally two grades in the trade. That is a double A grade and triple A grade. This guy right here is triple A grade. I'll explain how that is established. So let's go into that. So double A grade is generally you see some flowerhorns lacking color but have a beautiful round cock. So for instance, like mine, very symmetrical, very round cock. That is what you're looking for in a flowerhorn. But then you get the very dull, flat color. Now that's not too much of a problem with the right foods and so on. You can generally get color back into the fish, but very seldom are you going to get a double A grade to get that kind of color out of a fish. Triple A grade is coming down to the fact that it has that beautiful round symmetrical cock on its head, as well as a stunning coloration and pattern throughout. As you can see, mine has got both. From a very young age, it's had a very symmetrical round cock, and that just works. Hey, I struck a luck, and I absolutely love this guy. His temperaments, on the other hand, you learn to love. Let's put it that way. As you can perfectly see there, he's permanently angry at everything. Luckily enough, he hasn't really brought any injury. He's more just aggro all the time and complaining. That's all he is. He's like one of those grumpy people that just can't wait to fight with someone. That is what he does. In terms of water parameters, pH right now in this tank is that of 7.5, and as you can see, I should have tied that Nubius up because now it's floating around my tank. I'll get to that. So just ignore it for this video, please, guys. Coming back to, so the tank is sitting at about 7.5, 7.6. The pH scale, as well as obviously your ammonia, your nitrates, nitrites, all that are zeros. Water change was just done maybe 25-30 minutes ago. Coming back to my point of the flower. See, perfect example. He just can't not fight with everyone. That's just what he does. In terms of, I said in my intro that he's a wet pet. That brings it back to the point that he'll actually learn to recognize you properly, where you'll open up the top to feed your fish, and he'll come up to greet you, as opposed to most fish will wait for the food to hit the water, and go savage on the water. He'll actually come out and greet me. Occasionally, if he feels like he's not too grumpy that day, he'll actually let me touch him, and he'll let me actually pet him. And that's one of the things that I love about this fish. I know a lot of people are going, oh, but it's man-made and it's hybrid and so on like that. And a lot of people don't like hybrids. And you know what? I'm a sucker for him. I absolutely love this fish to death. He is my ultimate fish. He does take some getting used to in the beginning. Everyone else just laughed at me and said it was a weird fish. Why does it have that bump on its head? Did it swim into the glass? I've heard it all. A lot of people are not into the whole hybridization of fish and so on like that. As far as I know, and if anyone has the correct answer on what fish were put together for this fish, please leave it in the comment section below. I'm sure all of us would love to know. Personal opinion, I think it could have some Jack Dempsey in it. Definitely a Midas or Red Devil. Possibly Sicilian as well. Like I said, I'm not too sure. Don't hold me to that. That was just my personal opinion. Coming to the food section of it, you'll actually, let me just grab it here. This is the stuff I feed. That's his staple diet. It's tetracyclic gold sticks. I buy it in the 10-liter tub. Works out more effective into the pocket, as well as feeding so many big cichlids. It just gets intense to feed a Kari all the time. But without further ado, my Kari cichlid gold, I feed this once a day, every day. So this is just for some coloring and so on like that. I do alternate between this and Hikari red blood parrot or blood parrot red, one of the two. I love Hikari's food, great quality, so on like that. It's just expensive. I do feed my fish 4 times a day. When they were juveniles, 2 feeds of this, 1 of these. Every 3rd day they would get mealworms or bloodworms or so on when they were smaller. As they got bigger, the luxuries that can cause them to get a little bit on the fat side and not so healthy get given once a week. So on the topic of live feeding with these guys, I don't exactly agree with it. Reason being is that if you do it too often, you could end up with problems that the fish will not eat anything else besides live fish. And that's not awesome. Although crustaceans are very good for South American cichlids, it's part of their natural diet. Other problems with live feeding that a lot of people on YouTube pages have said that no, you got to live feed your Flowerhorn and so on like that. I disagree with it. Simply because, live feeding can cause a lot of problems. You could go to your local trusted pet shop. The fish has a virus. Boop! Now your champion fish has a virus from a 2 or 3 or 5 or 6 rand fish, and now you're going to take out a couple of $1,000 fish here just because you wanted to live feed. These are the things. It's different if you have a quarantine system and you're breeding your own feeders and so on like that, and it works out cost effective for you. I still wouldn't do it, but if that's what you want to do, again, it's fully up to you. It's your own opinion on this. I'm not telling you what you must do, I'm telling you what I do. Coming back to my point, I do believe crustaceans are incredibly nutritious for South Americans. They love it. That's basically my intro and my in-depth discussion on my beautiful Red Dragon gold based Flowerhorn. They are aggro, guys, they are. Another thing, if you read on websites, you'll actually see that they say you need a 55 gallon for one of these guys. Their waste load alone is way too high for a 55. Me personally, I would put them in a 400 liter tank. I think that's about 125 gallon or something like that. Sorry guys, don't know much about gallons. I'd put them in about a 300 to 400 liter tank. Gives you a big enough tank to have a fairly decent filtration system set up in it. They do have a high bioload. They are cichlids. They do need to eat almost constantly. Other than that, I absolutely love this fish, and I'd recommend it for anyone who has the time for a fish like this. This is not a fish that can just be left to the side and forgotten about. This is a fish that needs time. It needs attention. I have physically seen this fish sulk with me because I fed it like an hour late as opposed to my normal time. I'm not joking about that. But otherwise, guys, hands down the best fish I've ever owned in terms of personality, and I recommend it to anyone who's got the time and willing to put in the effort to keep a fish like this. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and give me that big thumbs up at the end of the video. Until next time, thumbs out.